So, Call of Duty always based itself upon reality of games. And then Modern Warfare came around, and as much as I like the high command gamer tag or whatever, it ultimately it just destroyed the game. It was too much. It was too much for people. There were too many camos going on. There were too many game-changing experiences, exosuits, exoslides or whatever, people sliding around. That's not real. That wasn't in really real Call of Duty games. It never was. It never should have been. Call of Duty was always supposed to be kind of a faster paced military experience because they used more smaller maps, but they still had plenty of big maps. They still had gameplays and games where you could have more slower paced games or more faster paced games. There's more variation when it came to that. And they really just brought it down to, we want fast play games, fast hit play experiences, blah 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 blah. And it ruined the franchise. It really did. So I just want to tell you that COD 4 is probably my favorite Call of Duty. And it's mostly because of the time it came out, the realism and the campaign and the storyline, as well as the multiplayer experience. Now, they could, and that's the other thing, since I've been playing these new Call of Duties and stuff like that, and I've seen this work, it's amazing because people do put a lot of work into the new games. They do. They put a lot of work into making new skins, new camos, and stuff like that. But something I've always wanted to see in Call of Duty is, and this is what happened in COD 4, is that you had camouflage, but you weren't ever really camouflaged unless you were in a ghillie suit. There were some times where you could be in a ghillie suit and you could actually be kind of invisible or less hard to see, and it could give you a tactical advantage. There are times where I would be laying on the ground next to some foliage and someone would run past me while I was playing Search and Destroy and I get the jump on them. And that is something that is fun. That is something that is overlooked. That is something that is not happening in modern Call of Duty games. Because they want vibrance and they want campy, gay Seth Rogen and Nicki Minaj and all these fun colors for whose audience? You know, this is a mature rated game. Did we all just kind of forsake that idea that this is mature? These are games for adults. These aren't games for kids. Go back to fucking Fortnite. So, what Call of Duty could be, it could be so much more. And that's the thing that is so interesting, is Advanced Warfare originally kind of destroyed the franchise because it started separating reality from fantasy. Even though they were doing some stuff beforehand where I would debate it as, get this shit out here, get this shit out of here, it's ruining the gameplay, it's ruining the immersion, it's ruining the actual fun of what real Call of Duty is supposed to be. What they could do is literally, Advanced Warfare is right here, right now happening. I watch Warzone and I see Warzone and people are driving around still in Humvees. Well, we have new Humvees that have been released. I can't remember the name of these, but there are legitimately new Humvees that the developers could take and add into Call of Duty, not only through like the campaign or Warzone or even the multiplayer experience, but they could just literally add in new things like this. It's a new skin. Oh my god, they would jump on it. Look, it's the new skin for a fucking Hummer. Look at this rare Humvee skin. They could literally just make a rare Humvee skin. You could trick these dumb motherfuckers into fucking making new Humvee skins and just use the real one and just pretend like it's not a real one and pretending like it's exotic. They could do that. There are new things out there such as like Gen 6 fighters. Now, Call of Duty never really used Humvees and fighters in their traditional gameplay of multiplayer, but they did in campaigns. We're getting into the era of Gen 6 jet pilots and jets, and they could definitely incorporate these things into the gameplay and even into the multiplayer experience. You know, we're talking about airstrikes. Maybe they're different airstrikes or something like that. We're drawing on the inspiration now of what's actually out there. Not just, let's make goddamn campy games fucking campy because we want to feed the fucking stupid faggots who fucking came over from Fortnite. They could legitimately just take what's going on out there. There is literally the new SIG rifle that has come out. There have been tons of new rifles that have come out, and we get back to the idea. I hate all these fake ass guns in the new Call of Duty games. They are fake, and they don't make sense and they don't add up. You have a 9mm submachine gun that does like a third more damage than another 9mm submachine gun. Yeah, you can kind of nitpick some of the ballistics, but it's the same round size and generally the same like FPS going out of the round. But no, we have fantasy guns have made up there are probably more fake guns in Call of Duty now than there are real guns. Why has it come to this point? It's not only just like the fucking Seth Rogen skins. No, that's what the new player base is mad about. The old player base, like myself, I'll still say that I'm mad about them fucking nerfing shotguns when they shouldn't be. If you're coming up too close to a shotgun, yeah, of course you're going to be overpowered. That's the reality of war. Of course you can't shoulder around a fucking sniper rifle that's 30 pounds and run around as fast as you can. That's not realistic. Let's talk about all these fantasy guns in Call of Duty that aren't even real. And we can draw from tons of inspiration on all the real guns out there. The only reason they don't is because they don't want to pay to license them. And it's costing the enjoyment of the game for people like me. Let's talk about other things such as these suits. They're not going to give you a tactical advantage on the fucking battlefield. You're not getting a tactical advantage. All of this is just completely ruined because what you have is you have a bunch of weak-wrist pussies who are developers who've never even touched a gun, who've probably never even seen a gun in real life, probably never seen a tank in real life, probably never even talked to a real soldier in real life, except for in fucking, they live in such a demented world, who are controlling the future of Call of Duty. And beforehand, and I guarantee you without even looking it up, in the older Call of Duty games, I bet you so they had some developers who go out and shoot real guns and talk to real soldiers and talk to people and get advice from people who are boots on the ground and actually experienced war, how they should portray their games. And they went from that to this dumb bullshit. And it's been an amalgamation of bad decisions over the decades. And it's hard for me to want to play new Call of Duty games because I try to play COD Mobile, and I find myself playing it like I'm still playing COD 4. I'm using the MP5 with some red tiger or blue tiger camo and just a normal ass soldier. I don't want all these things. I don't like people running around. I don't like this modern shit. You know, that's the thing. I like my fantasy games to be fantasy, and I like my realistic games to be realistic. And at one point in time, Call of Duty, even though you can say it's an arcade shooter, it was actually based upon reality. And we've had nothing but bad updates, bad games forever. The only game that was good that was released was the 2019 game. You know, I would say I could coincide with some people, and I could say, hey, you know, COD 1, 2, 3, 4, World at War, Modern Warfare 2, and maybe Black Ops 1 and maybe Black Ops 2. Those might be just, you know, that just might be the cutoff point. Anything after that and Modern Warfare 2019, that's it. And I hate the new franchise. I hate the people developing it. I hate who they think they know what Call of Duty should be. They were never around during that time. They've never even seen a gun. They've probably never even touched a gun. They're probably afraid of guns. They probably make guns in video games and then go home and advocate for anti-Second Amendment rights on the fucking internet and vote Democrat. These are the people controlling your fucking game. Fuck these people and fuck Call of Duty.